Hi, guys, it's Mrs. Dowell. I am going to work with you today on close reading. So, today you're going to watch me do some, and then you guys are going to do some. So, the first thing that you guys would do is you're going to put your name on your paper and then put today's date. So, today's date is 9/12/23. Okay. So this is a close reading math word problems. So I'm going to look here at this first read. So I'm going to read and I'm going to be thinking about who or what is the problem about. And then what do we need to find out? Okay, so who or what is the problem about? So let's look here. The aquarium has some sharks in a large tank. They caught 4 more sharks, and now there are 10 sharks in the tank. How many sharks did they have before they caught more? So, who or what is the problem about? The problem is about the sharks, right? I see that there's 10 sharks in a tank and that they caught 4 more sharks. So, who or what is the problem about? It's about sharks in a tank. And then what do we need to find out? That's going to be your question right here. Right here. How many sharks did they have before they caught more? So let's see. I need to find out the number of sharks that they started with. Because if I'm looking at this, how many sharks did they have before? Okay, this right here, before they caught more. So if I'm looking here, the aquarium has some sharks. Some sharks shows me, I don't know what that number is. I know that there's some in a large tank, but I don't know how many there are. What I do know is they caught 4 more sharks, and I know that there's 10 sharks in the tank. So, all right. So I know who or what the problem is about, and I know what I need to find out. I need to find out the number of sharks that they had to start with. So now let's read it again. Read 2. What do the numbers represent? Why are they important? And what do the numbers in the story tell us about? Okay, so let's think about these are our quantities and our units, right? So our quantities, we have, well, here we have some sharks. So I'm just going to put a question mark for sharks. I don't know how many there are, but they caught 4 more sharks. So they caught 4 sharks. And now there are 10 sharks in the tank. So I'm going to put 10 sharks. So this is what they had in the beginning, what they started with. This is how many they caught, 4 more. When they catch 4 more sharks, that means that they're joining 2. That means they're adding to what they already have. So we're just going to say adding to what they already have. And then the 10 sharks says, and now there are 10 sharks in the tank. So that's my total number of sharks. Okay. All right. That was my second read. Now I want to think, okay, now create a model. At the end of each sentence, stop and add to or change your model as you need. So this is where I'm going to kind of draw a picture. The aquarium has some sharks in a large tank. So we're going to say, here's my fish tank. And do I know how many sharks there are? I have no idea. So I'm going to put a question mark and I'm going to draw my shark. Okay, there's my shark. So I don't know how many sharks there are in that tank. You see right here, the aquarium has some sharks in a tank. They caught 4 more sharks. So they're going to be adding to or bringing in 4 more sharks. There's my shark. And we're going to be adding 4, right? Do I need to draw 4 sharks? No, that's going to take a lot of time. And I don't think I need to take the time to draw 4 sharks. So that's why I drew 1 shark and I put the number 4 to represent how many sharks were caught. Now it says, and now there are 10 sharks in the tank. So when you take this one and this, we have the tank. And now there are 10 sharks in the tank. All right, so here's my drawing, my model that represents what happens here. Remember, I'm going sentence by sentence. All right, now let's write an equation. So this is the start, the change, and the result. So how did we start? The aquarium has some sharks in a large tank. I do not know how many sharks are in the tank. They caught 4 more. So my change is that there's 4 more that have been caught. Now, caught, we've talked about that. That means they're adding to this group right here. So we're going to say that this is a joining 2 word problem. And now there are 10 sharks in the tank. So my result is 10 sharks. So my number sentence that I wrote is blank plus 4 equals 10. So I have blank plus 4 equals 10. So how can I solve that? Well, I can do a couple things. The first thing I can do is maybe just draw a number line. And I'm going to start at 4, and then I need to get to 10. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many jumps did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So would that make sense? 6 plus 4 equals 10. Absolutely. If I don't want to do, if I'm still kind of confused, I can look back at my original problem, my blank plus 4 equals 10. And I think, you know what? I can use the fact families. So if I go 10 subtract 4 gives me blank, that can help me too. So I could go 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Subtract 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many is left? There's 5 and 6. All right. So how many sharks did they have before they were caught? I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to delete all this. So there were 6 sharks in the tank in the beginning. Notice I have to write my answer in a complete sentence. Okay, so that's going to be very, very important. Okay, so let's try this one together. It says, Katie has some baseball cards. Mason gave her 4 more. Now Katie has 12 baseball cards. How many baseball cards did Katie have to begin with? So let's look at this. Who or what is the problem about? What do we need to find out? Go ahead and pause this video to decide who or what the problem is about. You can discuss it together. All right, so did you decide who or what the problem was about? Let's look. Katie has some baseball cards. So we're talking about baseball cards. Cards. And then Mason gave her 4 more. Now Katie has 12 baseball cards. So that's what we're talking about. Now, what do we need to find out? That's my question right here. How many baseball cards did Katie have to begin with? So we need to find out the number of cards Katie had before Mason gave her 4 more. All right, so yours should match mine or be somewhere close. So let's look at the second read. So what do the numbers represent? Why are they important? And what do the numbers tell us about the story? So go ahead, pause the video, and think about and work together to find out what those numbers mean and what they are. Okay. The first thing I see is I have some baseball cards. So I don't know how many baseball cards, but that she has some. And we're right, baseball cards. Then she got, whoops, sorry. I need to not rush so fast. That's Mrs. Dowell's learning right there. My second sentence says Mason gave her 4 more. 4 more what? It doesn't explicitly tell us, so we have to make an inference. He gave her 4 more ice cream cones? No, that doesn't make sense. He gave her 4 more baseball cards. So it's okay to say baseball cards here because that's how many she got. And this is how many the number Mason gave her. Okay. Now Katie has 12 baseball cards. Now she has 12 baseball cards. So that's my total. After she had her start, she was given some more. Now this is my total number that she has. She's got a total number of 12 baseball cards. All right, now I want you to go to your third read. Create a model. At the end of each sentence, stop and add to or change your model as needed. Go ahead, work together, and develop a model. Pause the video. Okay, so yours should have looked something like this. Katie has some baseball cards. So here's Katie. Maybe she's wearing a baseball cap. All right, so here's Katie. She has some baseball cards. I'm going to label this baseball cards just so I know what they are. So she has some baseball cards. But Mason gave her 4 more. So here's Mason. And he's going to give her 4 baseball cards. We're going to put a baseball hat on him too. All right. So here's Katie. She's got some. Here's Mason. And he's giving her how many? He's giving her 4. Now Katie has 12 baseball cards. So when I take all of this, I can kind of put an arrow and say, when you take all of this, now Katie, here's my hat for Katie. Now she has 12 baseball cards. All right, now I have my model. Go ahead, pause the video, and I want you to write an equation that represents this problem. Go ahead, pause the video. All right, so this should be your start, your change, and your results. Let's think. My start is that Katie has some baseball cards. I do not know how many she starts with. But Mason gave her 4 more. So that's what changed. That's the situation that changed. I know I'm adding here because he gives her 4 more. That word give is my clue to say that we're adding here. Now Katie has 12 baseball cards. All right, so that's my result. That's my total. When I take how many she started with, how many she was given, now she has 12. All right, go ahead and figure out a way to solve. If you need to use manipulatives, go get them. You can absolutely use your manipulatives to solve. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's take a look. We have blank plus 4 equals 12. I can use my fact families and go 12 minus 4 gives me my blank. So if I have 12, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's my 10 and 2. And then I take out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do I have left? I have 5, 6, 7, 8. So then would that make sense? 8 plus 4 equals 12. Let's take it. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's right. So how many did she have to start with? She had 8 baseball cards to start. Go ahead, pause the video, and write your answer. So you should have put Katie had 8 baseball cards to begin with. All right. Way to go, guys. So now, now you're going to work on some by yourself. You're going to work on the next one, and I'll show it to you. You're going to work on this one by yourself, okay? And I'm excited to see how well you do. Way to go, guys.